All right, guys, I'm going to show you a new micro brand called Haran, and here's their card. It's like a warranty card. I always like these metal ones. Kind of cool. I don't know. It's not necessary, but it's kind of cool to get these kits. And for example, like this nice piano black box that it comes in with the hardware. It's not necessary, but it's just nice, especially at this price point, because this guy here is going to be a Kickstarter launch. And this is one of the cases where I've said, a lot of people are anti-Kickstarter potentially, but when you have like a good example of a watch, it's kind of like a nice platform to, use. You just need to be educated, I think, before you do it. But with this one, the price point, the materials used, the movement used, I think all add up to a pretty dang good value. So I'll mention the price real quick before we even get into the case size, because I think that's important. This is on the affordable side of things, especially with a Swiss movement. The early bird pricing on the Kickstarter is only $4.99. Not for this one. This one has a meteorite dial, so tack on $100. So this one's going to be $5.99. But there are other colorways, and you could easily stay in that $500 price point. You don't have to have the meteorite dial. I think it looks cool. It matches the bezel and everything, but you don't need that, and it keeps it at the $500 price point. So what do you get for that? You get a 42 millimeter case. You get a 49 lug to lug. You get 14.3 millimeter thick, and you have a double dome sapphire crystal with AR coating. 22 millimeter lug width. Bracelet tapers down to about 19 millimeter, and then you have a fully milled clasp, double pushers for retention, and then you have that quick release slide adjust micro. So, and then it keeps the clasp fairly thin. It's not overwhelming for sure. You have nice screw pinned hardware. Use about a 1.2 screwdriver to use that. And then you have a fully brushed, squared off kind of bracelet with chamfered edges that are all polished, both on the reveals in the center part and on the outer edge. So it kind of catches the light really nice when you do like inadvertent wrist rolls and stuff. You have a scalloped bezel, but I feel like I have more traction on this. It's still not like coin edge or sharp or anything like that, like you get on most divers, but I feel like I have a little more traction than what you would get, say, like on a Seamaster or something, because it is similar scallops, but I feel like it's a little easier to turn than I recall my Seamaster turning. And this guy is a 300 meter water depth rated. You have, excellent screw down crown, loomed as well, plenty of traction on that. You get a nice pop to it when you unscrew it. You're going to be able to wind the Sellita SW200 movement in this position. First position, you're going to be able to adjust the date down here at 6 o'clock. Last position, nice solid feel to it. You're going to be able to stop the seconds hand, and then go ahead and adjust the time to whatever you need to put it at. Threads feel good on this. I haven't had to backspin, even though I recommend backspinning the crown to get it to drop into place. The other thing they did is a two-toned ceramic bezel insert that is also lume. So it's black up top, nice dove gray or battleship gray on the bottom. And then you have that black inner chapter ring that is also two-toned, but it's reversed. So it's gray on the top and black on the bottom. I love that yin-yang type thing going on there where it's crossed over. Nice design element, I think. Let's see, this one's the meteorite dial, 120 click bezel. There's two different colors lume on this. So like where you see the white, more white colored, that's going to be BGW9. And where you see the indices that are like a greenish colorway, that's going to be a C3. Both of them are going to be heavily applied and nice and bright. 7 millimeter crown on that guy too. So now if we zoom in, we can take a closer look at those design features I talked about. How sharp the transition from the gray to the black is, both on the bezel and on the chapter. You have an excellent meteorite dial. You have a fully polished handset there, red tipped seconds, nice applied indices, and of course that date at the 6 o'clock. I'm not 100% sure if they're going to do a no date, but with it being done at the 6 o'clock, it really balances out the dial. You also have a display case back showing off the custom rotor, and of course that Sellita SW200, which is beating at 4 Hertz or 28,800 vibrations per hour. This is called the Ocean Hunter. Quick release spring bars, so you can change it out if you want to put like a fabric strap on or gasp of leather on the diver, you can do that. Some divers look good on leather. I'm starting to maybe even think about trying that myself. Let's pop this on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. Now, when I release this video, it's probably going to be, I don't know, mid-February. I'm making this video in January. This is a prototype. The Kickstarter launch should happen in April. I'm hoping to drop this video in February so everybody gets plenty of time to think about it. And down in the description, there will be a link where you can click and you'll be able to get notifications of the project. But as you can see on my wrist, it looks, wears, and feels great. See how that light play is with that bracelet? That's those flat surfaces, and then with those chamfered polished reliefs, it becomes very playful. All right, let's kill the lights and check the lume on this thing. I will just put the weight down below because I didn't weigh it, but it has a nice little heft to it, so I think you'll enjoy the weight and feel of this watch. There is that killer lume. I love by application of lume. The blue and the green plays well together, and of course you have that lumed crown, which is typically exclusive to just micro brands, and that's one of my favorite things about micro brands is the lume, and this one does not disappoint at all. So like I said, this is a prototype. There probably will be a few changes. You're going to want to click the link down below in the description, and you will be notified of those changes as they happen. Thanks for watching, guys.